Ndinoda kuti nyika isiwe vanhu vangu inguva yedu hatingatadzi kubudirira Mwari ari parutivi pedu rambai muchirwa My hitters gon' die, don't die The real hitters gon' shine And my people gon' rise Cause we're born to win, I ain't saying but I'm saying Loyalty's my favorite characteristic of God, but finding it in it is hard. It's like trying to find God. You're the only one in your camp with cheese. You pay for everything they eat. Man, that insecurity is deep. Now I ain't said no names. These are just theories. If you hear me, baby, it's home. You must admit it's kinda eerie, baby. Like them chemtrails in the sky. Ain't the selling the slaves, kinda like the combines. We say everything in moderation, but don't do it in moderation. The lies of a gluttonous generation. 10-year-old girl in.
Grand Rising, everybody. Welcome to the Day with Trae. I'm your host, Trae Holiday. Of course, we got a Feel Good Friday up for y'all today. I'm really excited because I got Mark Bryant in the building. He's going to be telling us all about his world famous powerlifting history, but also how he's bringing all of his expertise into helping folks today. So I'm so excited that he is joining us. I'm telling you guys, this is an amazing opportunity for us to hear another inspiring story. So I'm so grateful that Mark is joining us today. Of course, it is the top of the show, so it's a great time for you to tag and share this stream right here, y'all. Go ahead, tag and share the stream with folks you feel could benefit from a daily dose of dopeness right here on the Day with Trae. Of course, if you can't watch us, don't worry, we got you covered. You can listen to us anywhere you find your favorite podcast. Just search Converge Media Network and the Day with Trae. Y'all will find me there. Google, Spotify, iTunes, SoundCloud, all of the platforms that do podcasting. I promise you, we are there, 200 plus platforms. So just search Converge Media Network and the Day with Trae. You guys will find me there. Also appreciate you guys sharing out the podcast. As we're always encouraging folks to share the stream, we want you also to share the podcast with folks that you feel could benefit from what we're bringing here on the show. So of course, I always want to thank everybody who's supporting, who's watching, who's listening, everybody who's pouring into this. Thank y'all so much. Well, I'm excited because right now, up next, we got Mark in the building. He's going to be telling us all about his powerlifting history and how he's been a world champion. Hi, Mark.
Hello. Well, I'm so glad to be here. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you so much for coming. I mean, this is really a platform to uplift stories, and it sounds like you have a real interesting one and an inspiring one. You were just telling me a bit about what got you into powerlifting and how it changed your life. Tell us a bit about those early days before you even started.
Well, the earlier days, I'm originally from New York City, born and raised. And unfortunately, I had an unpleasant upbringing. It was a very abusive background. And so as a teen, as a young kid, I went through a lot of problems with that. Physical problems, mental problems, physical abuse. And that lasted for over 10 years. And it was a lot. And then dealing with gangs in the street too, trying to overcome that. And I didn't get the emotional support, the support I needed for school. Everything was just bad. And one thing that I always had a love for fitness.
Mhm.
I always had a love for fitness. And although people put it down, what is fitness going to do? It's not going to get you anywhere. You're not going to be able to make a living with fitness. That's what made me feel comfortable. And that's what made me feel good. That's what made me feel comfortable. And that's what saved my life. And what I mean by that, as the years went on, I managed to, fast forward here, made it to Seattle out of New York. And just found a better life for myself here. Managed to go to school, educate myself, and really pursued the fitness the way I wanted to until I became a professional within the fitness industry. And it just improved me all the way around, academically, mentally, physically. It really helped me a lot. And it's something that I love. It's something that's a part of me. It's not like I just want to go to the gym and exercise and feel good. It really a part of my life. Without fitness, I truly would have been dead.
Wow. I mean, when we talk about some of the things that really pull us out of the trenches, it's such a wide variety. How did it do that for you? I mean, when you first realized that fitness was going to be kind of your way out of that.
Right. Well, when I was in school back in New York, and I remember when in high school, the coaches, I had to play football. And I hate to say this, people, but I'm really not a ball sports type of guy. Sorry, but I'm really not. And I just love fitness. And so I was in my gear in the football and stuff like that. And I said I didn't really want to do it. And so he looked at me, about it wasn't high school, but he looked at me and he said, well, if you don't do it, you're going to fail gym. Well, I didn't do it. I just went on, did my own exercise things I wanted to do. And of course, I failed gym, right? I failed gym. Passed everything else, but I failed gym. But fast forward, did I really fail gym? No, because I'm a fitness expert now. What I'm saying is that I follow my heart. I follow what I really want to do, what I really want to become, and what saved me for so long. When I say save me, I would do my exercise. I would go to a place that was quiet, that was away from a lot of things, and just make myself feel good. No one else could do it for me, so I had to find a way to do it for myself, and exercise was a major part of that.
Mm.
And so I gravitate to that, and through that, it educated me. I learned, my vocabulary became a lot better. My spelling became a lot better. My speed of typing became a lot better. My speed of reading became a lot better because I advanced myself into the fitness industry with higher certification. So of course you are learning more and more, high vocabulary,
Yeah.
getting into that academic so deeper than I normally would have been getting into. So I learned a lot along the way. So it's not just fitness. Fitness teaches you a lot because you got to read, you got to study, you got to do this, you got to do that, and that's what really helped me. It really helped me in many, many ways, and it opened doors for me with new clients. So I'm
Mhm.
able to make much more money, which what professional people, unlike I was working with before, just because of how I changed myself within the fitness industry.
Well, I mean, this obviously lends itself to kind of the origin story of you getting into powerlifting, and so I want to hear about that transition as you're, utilizing fitness as a way of you healing yourself,
Right,
and
right.
then being able to now, help others because they're seeing you, right, and they're getting exposed to what you're doing in fitness. Tell us a bit about that transition into powerlifting.
Well, still going to school, dealing with fitness. I remember I went to a club downtown and I overheard a coach talking about powerlifting and using some terminology that I just learned about in school. And you don't hear that terminology just in general. So it caught my attention. The lifting that he was doing with the people didn't interest me, but the terminology he used really struck my car. I was like, wait a minute, what is he saying? So I went over to him and said, excuse me, what do you do? And he says, powerlifting. I said, powerlifting? What is powerlifting? And I didn't know anything about it. He told me all about it. And I decided, well, I'd like to try it. I didn't know what the heck I was doing. I just like to try it. And he got me into it. And his name is Todd Christensen, because I tell you, that's, I have to say his name, Todd Christensen, because that's who started me in the powerlifting. And had it not been for him, I wouldn't be a world champion at all, know anything about powerlifting. So that really started it off. And I just started learning about it, started to compete. And I never would dream that right now I would be a 14-time world champion. I would never
Wow.
dream that at age 64. I would never dream that. But also, I give a lot of credit to another guy, Bull Stewart. He's the vice president of the Bull Stewart Power team, and I'm the vice president of his team. And he and I go back many, many years, and we work together on the power team. And as a matter of fact, we just came back from Las Vegas in September, and we won the overall championships in every category possible. We walked away for the first place men, first place women, and first place overall. So he's an awesome coach in the powerlifting, and that's our life, and that's what we do. And it's a blessing that we really shine. And it's definitely a blessing for me, as I have to say this to you. It's a blessing for me because in 2008, I had a total left hip replacement.
Wow.
And the doctor said I wouldn't be able to squat or do things like that. And I have never had an issue since. And I'm still competing. And that's just from the grace of God. That whole surgery, the rehab, the medication, the room, the private room, and the University of Washington, all was free of charge.
Wow.
And so that's nothing but a blessing. So I take my blessing, the blessings also fitness. I take that blessing, that gift, and I share with others, because I believe if you have a God-given gift, you must share it with others. And that's why I reach out to help people. Pay me or not, if you're interested, I'm going to do my best to help you.
Wow. I mean, this is so interesting to me because for me, Mark, like one of the big things that is always on my docket in terms of the to-do for myself is fitness, is health and wellness, right?
Yeah.
Physical body. Like, what am I doing to make sure that I'm going to have longevity? And I've been like, okay, I've been carrying extra weight for years. What do I want to do? Am I going to get rid of it? So I love hearing this because it sounds like you're like, look, people, this is a way to do it. And you talk about 14-time world champion.
Yes,
I mean, you got to dive into that for us. What does that look like on the other side as you start getting into powerlifting? Then you start taking it to these championships. I mean, that's you being all over the world, being recognized as a champion.
Yes,
Tell us a bit about that journey, Mark.
It was, it was a how should I say, exciting moment, but at the same time, a little scary moment, not knowing what you're getting into. But I have a way of focusing because my other background is martial arts, and I've been doing it since age 11. And so I know how to focus. I know how to really put my attention on one thing, and I don't let the environment that I'm surrounded by or the people or anything disturb me. I just focus on the task at hand. What am I supposed to do right now on this platform? And that's what I do. And if I can do what I've been trained to do in the gym, I'm happy with it. Now I sit back and I wait for the outcome. And whatever the outcome is, I'm okay with it. You see, so basically what I'm saying, I'm at peace with myself for whatever I do. Yeah. And I don't let anything else disturb me. So that's just, that's just how that goes. I just think it's so surprising. And again, it's a gift that I am 14-time world champion. I never dreamed I would be. I'm 2-time Hall of Famer. Wow. And that's just a blessing. And I don't hide that, that what I am, I get to share with you. And I try to make you become that. Wow. And that's always what I want to do. And the thing about fitness that you said, I just want to point this out. And for the people who are watching and listening, don't take fitness the wrong way. Fitness doesn't mean you have to do heavy weights and all this crazy exercise. No, simply walking around is good. It's just about staying active. Staying active is just moving your body, not being in one spot, and letting your muscles waste away. So if you're moving around, staying active, that's good enough. And if you want to take it up another level, you can. Sometimes people they have the wrong mindset about fitness. Oh, you got to have a good looking body. I'm not into that. You don't have to be into it. You just have to treat your body like you would treat your car. Keep that engine running. Yeah, there it is. That's a great analogy right there. Well, I mean, you clearly have, really dove in, to the expertise that you gained over the years. You're using it in a bunch of different ways. As you said, helping folks just coming back from Vegas. Congratulations on the win there. Thank you. This is really a way that what I love is that you're not just keeping it for yourself. Right. You're saying, I have something else to give. And so after this short break, we're going to get to dive into you as a certified fitness therapist, right? Exercise therapist. Right. So we can talk about how you're now utilizing that to help others. You guys, make sure you stay tuned. You don't want to miss this part of Mark's story right after this short break, y'all. You're watching The Day with Trae.
Portland, what's going down, family? It's your boy Cuddy from Converge Media, and we got it lit once again as we tap in with the Trap Kitchen for the official Trap Kitchen weekend, Friday, November 18th at the Roseland Theater in downtown Portland. Music, food, and culture, people. It's the only way we know how to rock. So come rock out with us November 18th at the Roseland Theater. For more details, make sure to follow on all platforms, Trap Kitchen PDX, or get your tickets today at roselandpdx.com.
A world of wonder awaits at Pacific Northwest Ballet's The Nutcracker. Treat your loved ones to the Northwest's favorite holiday tradition at Seattle Center's McCall Hall. Tickets start at $27. Visit pnb.org.
COVID-19 hurt my income, my health, and my family. We were about to lose our home when we heard we might be eligible for homeowner assistance funds from the government. We called 1-877-894-HOME, and a housing counselor stepped in, talked to our lender, and saved our home. Federal funding details at washingtonhalf.org. That's washingtonhaf.org.
Basically, fam, believe in giving. Like, we have to be willing to give more, and people seem to always think giving means money, but nah, bro. It's like you can give time, you can give understanding, you can give access, you can give a listening ear and an open heart. You can give and share your God-given gifts and talents, but you just got to give.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Day with Trae. You guys, I have on my desk right now some of Mark's, Hall of Fame. I got the Hall of Fame ring. When I tell you this joint is very heavy, okay? It really is. It is a huge feat here. And then I also have one of his 14 championships. This right here is not a lightweight thing. This is full on heaviness right here, and he had 14 of them around his neck. Wow. Just again, such an honor to have you gracing the Black Media Matter studios in my living room set for the Day with Trae. Mark, thank you again for being with me.
Totally excited. I'm happy about it. I'm very happy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you were just sharing with me too that, when you think about, utilizing fitness as your God-given talent, I mean, right there, Omari was just talking about, you just have to give whatever it is, use your God-given talent, but give. And you said that earlier, that was really a part of what you wanted to do. Tell us a bit about how you started to then become certified exercise therapist and help others.
Well, after my training to become an exercise therapist, which was grueling course and material and just too much essays, case studies, woohoo, running around doing all these in person. You have to look and see what's going on, then come and write a report about it, the different gyms and how you work with seniors, how you work with blind people, how do you do this, what was wrong, what was contraindicated about certain exercises. The whole, it's huge. Medications, it goes on and on. Yeah. But thank God I passed. Yeah, I'm gonna brag for a minute. Yeah, I got I think a 93 or 94 on that final exam. Hey,
well, there you go. There you
go. Anyway, so what I do, I work with seniors, and I've been working with seniors for the past just about 18 years now. 18 years, and at the Southeast Shadow Senior Center, and they are just lovely. They're my family now, and I really respect the seniors a lot. They are my family, and I treat the seniors as if I'm working with my own mom. That's how I do it. And they improve. The beginning, they would say, oh, I can't do this, I can't do that because of age. But age is just a number. And every instructor is different. I don't really give slack on that. So they know not to come with the excuses. And they're just awesome people. They move around, and they're in their 80s, they're in their 90s. I have a couple at 100. And they get on that floor and move with me like no problem. Yes, they do. And because the mindset now, they know they can do it. They don't have the fear of falling, which is a big thing in the senior community. Yeah. And so we work on balance, flexibility, strength exercising, aerobic for the cardiovascular system. And it just goes on and on. And we do that 3 days out of the week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, men and women. And it really makes a huge difference. Wow. And so, on a sad note, and I have to just bring this in on a sad note, my mom recently passed away, I think about a year now, November. And she's lived in Georgia, and I'm here, so I didn't get to see her really very much at all until the end. And the sad thing about it, as long as I've been working for seniors, I came back feeling so guilty and so tore up. And one of the reasons why is that I'm able to help everyone else, all the other seniors, but I could not help my mom. Yeah. And it's just right now, being on this platform right now, had she been alive, she would be so proud to see me here right now. Yeah. Especially in this platform, she would just love it. And so it's still painful to sit here knowing that she can't see me. My brother passed 8 years ago before that, so that's all my immediate family. But now I'm like, still climbing up, being successful. I don't want to make that like, do I deserve it? Is it a guilt trip? It's just. I don't know. It's just like, I wish they were here to witness it. But I'm just saying, I still do what I'm supposed to. God put me here for a reason. To serve other people with the gift he gave me. And so I have to keep that in the back of my mind in spite of, and do just that. And that's what I'm doing for the seniors, and I also do it for youth.
Well, I love it because honestly, condolences for your mother and your brother.
Thank you.
I lost my father earlier this year, just a few months ago. And so I understand. But the one thing that is a driver for me is I know my father's watching, right? And that just their spirit being with us. But it's also a beautiful thing that you've been able to pour that passion into how you show up for seniors, right? Understanding that your mother couldn't actually feel this, physically, like you weren't able to train her like you are them, but you take that on as a way to connect with them. And that's such a beautiful thing, Mark. And not enough of us understand how to make those kinds of transitions. So it's really important. When you think about some of the highlights of working with seniors and youth in this regard, tell us about some of the things where you're like, wow, you start with somebody and then you see them grow in it. I know that must be a really great feeling for you as well.
Well, I'll tell you one funny thing about working when I first started working with the seniors. I walked into the senior center barely because I didn't have my hip surgery. So I can barely stand. I was in an extreme amount of pain. And I remember Bull, who's the coach of the powerlifting team, he and his wife introduced me to the senior center and said, will you help us out and work here? Because they used to do it first. And so I said yes. And I remember when I walked in, all the seniors standing around looking at me, they were sitting around looking at me, and they were whispering to each other, what can he teach us? He can barely walk. And so I never forgot that first day. But since then, that was never said again. Because it was something different. And the seniors are not, when you hear the word seniors, they're not babies. They're not, oh, pity me, poor me, be careful. You'd be surprised. You don't know about them until you work with them. You'd be surprised. They will put you in your place. They're probably worse than you. So in a good way. And so they have been again a big blessing in my life, a huge blessing. I look forward to it every day. I just came from there before I came here, matter of fact, teaching. And so I look forward to that every single day when I'm with them. And they taught me so much. Oh, believe me, they taught me so much. And I'm always open to learning. So I said, whatever you got, if I say something that's not right in terms of grammar, correct me. Whatever it is. And I'm always open to learning still. And so it just makes a better person out of me, but I'll also let them be my guide. And it's been huge.
Honestly, I really resonate with this story. As a young person, I would go around the neighborhood and just sit with seniors.
Right.
I grew up with my grandmother always being around us as young people. She was has been such a major influence in my life. And honestly, I really resonate with the stories that seniors have. Our elders carry so much wisdom and knowledge and history. And I've always valued that ever since being a young girl. And so I love this, this idea of like embedding yourself in their community, going and checking in with them and being with them and bringing your expertise to them in a way that they then, surprise themselves with their own physical abilities.
Well, see, one of the things about seniors that they feel down on themselves about, they feel lonely. They don't feel like, oh, now we're too old, so no one wants to spend time with us and talk to us. See, I kind of know what that feels like, and I'm always there for them. We'll play games together, we'll joke together, we'll do whatever, we'll have lunch together. We sometimes go out to lunch and stuff like that, because they're human. And they want to be cared for, they want to be loved, they want to be respected and appreciated, and that's the way we should treat them. And even when I work with youth, it's the same way. They have issues in their lives and they want to be able to confide in someone. And I want to be that person for them to do that with. And I'm a kid at heart. Yeah, I'm definitely a kid, so I'll be doing goofy stuff. And they love that. And we just connect that way, and it makes them feel good. So I try to be open and help everyone that I can on any level that I can, as long as they feel good.
Well, I'm going to tell you like this. I mean, clearly you've taken all that you've done, all over the world champion, and really bringing that passion to the community, which I think is so key.
Yeah.
We need more folks doing that, because oftentimes, we can get caught up in that hype, right? And it's like,
Yeah,
oh, I got
yeah.
14 championships. Maybe
Right.
you're a celebrity trainer. You don't ever bring it back. The beauty is that you actually understood the value of bringing it back into community. And so kudos to you for that. I always say here on this platform and out in the way that I live, that it's so important, no matter what we do or where our talent may take us, that we also have an understanding of how much greater we can make our communities when we bring all of that talent and skill back to our communities. And so I think that's really key with what you're doing, Mark.
Yeah, totally. It's very interesting. I had a lot of media, Shadow Times, television come to scenes to do all these stories on me. I mean, I'm all over the board. But why I say that is because I think the other senior centers will take a look at that. And I don't know, it's just, here's this black guy, pretty strong, tough black guy, but yet so passionate with seniors. Well, how is that a story? I really don't know, because I just think if you really want to do it, you do it, but somehow it's looked at that way. I think, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
If it was a woman doing it, probably not so much. It was someone else doing it, but a black, tough guy doing it, like, wow, I can't believe that. So it just blew up, like, wow. But it's not about being a black tough guy. It's just, I'm very passionate about it. I've been passionate for seniors, as you. In my neighborhood, I used to go and wash their cars and cut their grass. And I just love to do that, love being around them. So I grew up that way too. In spite of my, I find other ways to go out and just be at peace and help someone that needs help. So I love that. That's my purpose here. I think if I don't do that, I may not be here very long.
Wow.
So that's a God. So basically, I'm going to say this real quickly. If you have a gift, it doesn't have to be powerlifting, it doesn't have to be fitness. Whatever your gifts may be, if you have it, sharpen it up, make it good, but then share it, because that's what a God-given gift is for. It's for you to share it and hopefully do it, and it'll make you feel better too. All right. So just believe in yourself.
Look, you are doing it well, because that's how I love to end every show. Mark, before I let you go, look right there again. Make sure folks know how to catch up with you if they're trying to get some of your training expertise, your exercise therapist work. Please let them know how to follow up with you.
Well, I think my Instagram handle is Mark_Bryant 123. Mark MARK_BRYANT. Bryant 123. I'm on Facebook, but I've forgotten that, so I don't do very much. I'm sorry. So that's what you have. I just want to say this real quickly too. I am and have been the host of Rainier Avenue Radio for over 5 years now. Wow. So I have a show called The Fitness Corner on Rainier Avenue Radio. You can check that out if you like too.
Amazing. Mark, thank you so much for joining me today. This has been a real treasure, and what a great way to end the week. I really appreciate your positivity and your work in community. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. What a great guy. Oh my goodness, you guys. I get to wrap this episode up and wrap up the week right after this short break. Stay tuned. You're watching The Day with Trae.
Portland, what's going down, family? It's your boy Cuddy from Converge Media, and we got it lit once again as we tap in with the Trap Kitchen for the official Trap Kitchen weekend, Friday, November 18th at the Roseland Theater in downtown Portland. Music, food, and culture, people. It's the only way we know how to rock. So come rock out with us November 18th at the Roseland Theater. For more details, make sure to follow on all platforms, Trap Kitchen PDX, or get your tickets today at roselandpdx.com.
COVID-19 hurt my income, my health, and my family. We were about to lose our home when we heard we might be eligible for homeowner assistance funds from the government. We called 1-877-894-HOME, and a housing counselor stepped in, talked to our lender, and saved our home. Federal funding details at washingtonhalf.org. That's washingtonhaf.org.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Day with Trae. I'm your host, Trae Holiday. What a great episode and a nice way to wrap up a fantastic week. Got to give a huge shout out to Mark Bryant for being here and sharing his passion, not just for powerlifting, but for bringing all of his fitness expertise and exercise therapy all the way to the youth and to the seniors in the community. What a great way for y'all to do what? Be inspired. Of course, he even had a message there for you to make sure you are sharing your gift out, which is what I'm always encouraging you guys Monday through Friday to do. Be inspired by the guests that come here on the Day with Trae, but also that you can find a way to see yourself as a part of the solution, as Mark Bryant has done. He didn't just keep all of his championships and his fitness acumen to himself. He brought it out into the community and is continuing to connect with seniors and youth and those in between who are looking to really get fitness as a moniker for their lives. I know for me, I need it as a foundation. So I already told him, watch out, Mark, be ready for my call, because I need it in my life. And I'm telling y'all, you guys, I'm always inspired by the guests who come on here, but I want you to be inspired as well. Of course, we also have a couple of announcements before I let you go this week. I want to make sure that we are keeping this message alive. Get your tickets for the Nutcracker. That is right. What an amazing family-friendly treat for everybody. Show is running November 25th through December 27th. It ends on my birthday, y'all. So make sure you guys get your tickets. I can't wait to take the kids. I'm so excited. It's going to be a great fun time. Also, tomorrow, November 5th, we have Dance Theater of Harlem. They are doing their tribute to Hazel Scott. It is a one-day show, y'all. So they have a performance at 2 p.m. and one at 8 p.m. right there at the Paramount. Shout out to STG. You guys can cop your tickets there at stgpresents.org. But of course, there's so many great shows going on. I'm going to uplift Tia Nashe doing her one-woman show at Acts on Stage. Make sure you guys check out Acts on Stage and get your tickets for that. And also the Amen Corner is running all the way into November 20th. So you guys, there are so many great things to do out here in the community. And when it comes to theater and arts, I am so excited because honestly, that's like my love. So I'm going to be all over all the shows, but I got to make sure you guys get your tickets as well. I want to thank y'all for joining me this week. It's always been a fantastic time with all of you. And for me, until Monday at 11 a.m., peace. Converge Media produces culturally relevant content for Black and urban audiences. Our coverage is raw, transparent, and objective, praised by community leaders, government officials, and residents. Support Converge Media today via Venmo, Cash App, or PayPal at Converge Media.